All right. Hello, welcome. Happy Thursday. And what a crazy week it's been. Lots of announcements and things going on, from Zoom integration with Ecamm to TikTok bans. I'm not going to talk about that. And also, Twitter has just announced that you can now go live using the desktop to Spaces. But we're not talking about those two things. We're talking about Zoom integration that's been added to Ecamm Live in the latest beta. Now, I posted a walkthrough tutorial on my channel, so you can go and peruse that at your leisure. That hopefully will help you get set up, connected, and start using this. But today I thought I'd just take this opportunity to just mess around and basically get people on. Maybe if you want to join me live here with Zoom, I'll walk you through how to get on and so on. And hello, Lion. Thank you so much for joining. Great to see you too, and looking forward to you being on the Creative Amplifiers show on Monday. That will be great. So I'm going to take you through basically this setup on Zoom and show you how it all works. We got a couple of other people. Hello. Nice to see you, Florence. And since you both joined me, I don't know whether either of you or both of you would be up for joining me on a Zoom meeting. You could join via Zoom. I bring you into the Ecamm production and we can test. It's entirely up to you, but let me know in the comments if anybody is interested in that. That was the purpose of today. If not, I'm going to bring myself on as another caller in Zoom, but I wanted to show you how it works anyway. So let's first quickly go into live demo mode here in Ecamm, and you can see, all right, great, Lion. I'll send you the link in a second. So first off, if you have got the beta, you will need to first of all link your Zoom account with Ecamm. And the way to do that is just by clicking on here and so on. Not a problem, Florence, no issue, but we'll get Lion to come on in a second as well. But anyway, so you've got to link your account first of all to start with, just to make sure this is being connected. And then once your account with Zoom is connected to Ecamm, you'll get the option now, obviously, to start a new meeting, join by link, and look at your scheduled events. So the good news is you don't have to have the Zoom app installed on your machine at all. Ecamm now comes with the latest version of Zoom, which is 6, connected and part of the Ecamm build, which is great. And it stops us from having to actually do that. So I will send Lion the link. Let me just start up a new meeting. But first, I'll show you. So I'm going to create a new meeting down here. And it's going to connect to Zoom's workspace now. I'm going to just bring it over here just to show you, but then I'm going to move it out of the way. So you're going to see the main Zoom controls and everything that you know and love down here. So you'll get all the same Zoom controls. This is effectively the Zoom application running within Ecamm, and it's the same as you would normally get. So just bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to move this out of the way. I'm going to go out of live demo mode. I'm going to copy the Zoom meeting. And I'm going to ping it over to Lion. Just give me a sec. I will just go into this. I'll send it to you on Messenger, Lion, if that's all right. Okay. So I've given Lion the meeting minutes. Meeting ID for Zoom. Where's my Zoom window gone? Let's bring it back over here. So back into live demo. So what you'll see is that Lion will come in as a participant in the Zoom window here, and he won't be added to the meeting until we add him here in this menu. And the great thing about this now is that the audio routing and everything that we had to do before with loopback and other applications is taken care of all within Ecamm. So Ecamm's virtual mic is being sent via Zoom, and Lion has already joined you. So you can see Lion is here, and hopefully he'll join in a second. And I'm going to, hey Lion, hopefully you can hear me in here. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. But if not, then okay, great. So I'm going to add Lion as a camera in a second. So within Zoom now, everybody that comes in to the Ecamm production is potentially can be added as a camera. So let me just go and find the two up guest here, and I'm just going to change this. All right. So Lion hasn't been added yet as a guest, so I'm going to add him here. So Lion now is basically a guest within Ecamm, and it basically just gives you a message saying that this is being live streamed down here, and that's a Zoom privacy thing. So I'm now going to add Lion's camera, which will be down here. You can see that Lion's camera is there. Hey Lion, hopefully you can hear me and I can hear you. Let me just turn this down a little bit.
I can hear you.
Oh, great. You're coming through loud and clear. So how's things with you? Doing well?
Yeah, well, picking up and enjoying this. I'm excited, just like you. And so I'm good.
Good. Have you been testing the Ecamm integration with Zoom at the moment?
I have, and I'm excited to see some of the new explorations that it has, but I have testing it. I haven't had multiple live participants like we're doing now, so
Right.
it's limited, but still, yeah.
It's good if we could get like 10 people on. I know, but there is a limit at the moment, so you can have up to 8 guests coming in, I think, via Zoom, right? Which is number one. And then the second point is that you can have an additional number of users coming in via the interview mode. So technically you could have 18 people coming into your Ecamm Live production. I'm not sure if my Mac would handle that. I think it would blow up personally. But yeah, that's interesting. So what and now you can do all the reactions right in Zoom, because Zoom's got all these new fancy little reactions and everything, which I haven't tried. You're using version 6 of Zoom, the latest version that's come out, right?
Correct. I just updated it.
Okay, let me see if I can get these reactions. Oh, look at that. We can do all these. Can you see that? No, he doesn't. Yeah,
Yes.
It's funny because it doesn't come through on the Ecamm production, but it will come through on Zoom. So any of these reactions that you're seeing isn't coming through on the Ecamm production, but it is coming through on Zoom only. One thing I've been trying as well, which I wanted to test today, is screen sharing. So the standard screen sharing, if we go, for example, if I go to see if I go to Zoom here, so I can bring you in. Let me just bring you in as a guest at the top. Let me just change you here, bring you in as a guest. So there you are. So there you are as a guest. So I stole this from Martin McKenna. You know, Martin's really good at producing these overlays and things. So what I did here is I just added, if you look on live demo mode, you can see that it's got placeholders for multiple guests. So if we had tons of guests, then you can add it there. And this is just one way of sharing everything. And Martin's really good at doing layouts, and I've been messing around with them as well. Well, what I've got here is just a presentation that I did some time ago, and it's on Canva. So if I just go to Canva, I can cycle through that if it works. Hang on, if I can get my Canva to work. It's not cycling. Why is it not playing? Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, I can just go through a presentation. So this is just a standard screen share in Ecamm. Now you're seeing that reasonably well in Zoom. I mean, I've got a 720p account. I haven't got the business account on it, the professional account, but
it still looks clear. Looks clear.
Well, that's good. And I know a lot of people were complaining about the whole, we've got to have 1080p. And I think for when you're doing small text, right, in presentations and things, especially if you're sharing like a Facebook group with small writing on it, then obviously that's going to be a bit of a problem. But at least with this, it seems to work okay. And you can also look at what resolution you're coming in at. So I'm gonna quickly check that as well. So if I go to live demo mode, I'm just going to whoops, what happened there? Live demo mode has gone crazy. Well, I need to change one sec. So if I go back to live demo mode, there you go. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so I'm going to bring your camera effects in here. If I just do the camera effects, we can see on your camera down here at the bottom that for whatever reason, you're only coming in at 180p. What account do you have with Zoom? Have you just got a standard free account with Zoom, or you got a pro account?
I just have a free one.
Okay. And I think I can change, if I make it full screen, it always changes as well. So Zoom does this sort of rate adaptation thing with cameras. So if I've now gone to full screen on here, I just wanted to see what it looks like, and Zoom will try. And
I'm also
go ahead.
I'm gonna switch to my, because I noticed that as well, and so I'm switch cameras and see if it changes. So I'm going to put on a different camera. So here's a different camera and see if that changes anything.
Okay. Are you coming in via Ecamm as well? Because you've got your Ecamm background and stuff, right? So you're using Ecamm's virtual cam.
Correct.
Okay. I wonder if that affects it as well, whether Ecamm's... It shouldn't do. Let me look at the stats. I'm just going to... So I'm only full screen on my side. What are you on your side? Are you full screen in Zoom or not?
I think it is. Yeah, it looks big.
Okay, let me just look.
I can't tell, but it looks like it.
I'm just going to bring the Zoom statistics.
Sure. Let me see. Choose virtual video filter pin. I'm trying to figure out how to change cameras in Zoom. Oh, here, let me try this video. All right, so here we go. So now I'm on a different camera.
Okay, so what are you coming in at? And it's weird because what are my settings here? Because in mine, I'm only sending 640 by 360. I think you can see this down here, and I'm actually only receiving 720 by 180 for you. I don't know why that is. So we're both... I'm full screen on my side. That is weird. Let me just see if I can make it full screen in Zoom. One sec. Because I thought I was. So let me just go here. Yeah, that's odd. Because I thought you would be coming through at a different rate. Yeah, and I'm only sending 640 by 360. I don't know why I'm only sending the smaller screen. Let me come out of live demo mode. I don't know whether that makes any difference. It is a bit strange how Zoom decides to operate. See, now you're coming, let me just see. You're coming through now. You've changed your rate already. Let's have a look. What have you found with your testing, that it sometimes comes through at some weird rates or something?
So my testing hasn't been with anyone live yet, so it hasn't changed. I've just used my own phone or laptop to bring myself in.
Right.
So it's just come through with the same rate each time, of course, because it's used to my laptop.
I mean, I've used a free account as well, and I've got better resolution than what I'm seeing now, but I don't know why I'm only sending you 640 by 360. Zoom. I think there's a few more things to test out here, especially. Yeah. But I mean, I can see you okay. Now, when you flip back to that, I mean, you're using your main camera now, right? Not using Ecamm.
Correct.
Yeah. And you're still coming through according to this at 180p, which is really low resolution. But even so, I would have expected to be a bit better than that. But maybe it's just because of either the account that you're on. But my understanding was that whoever is the host, whatever they're coming in at, they get that resolution as well. So if we were to join somebody with a 1080p full resolution account, technically we could all come in at 1080p as well, because it's whatever the host is setting. But right now, maybe.
And as as I look at our view right now, my main camera looks clear. Your feed where you and I are next to each other, you are clear, and then I'm fuzzy on this end.
Yeah, and you're a bit
So
fuzzy from my side. So the receiving camera that I'm getting from you is also a little bit fuzzy for
okay,
whatever reason.
yeah,
Not sure. Okay. Well, at least this has been an experiment, but it's good to try with multiple people at least. Yeah, I'm just wondering if I join with my
you
phone
know,
or another account.
yeah. I'm gonna see if I can join that link with my
Okay.
iPad here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bring you up as well, but it might be worth trying.
Yeah. Let's get really confusing with the audio. We're- we're-
I guess I can keep the audio off,
yeah, you can not join
or
with
right?
audio. Yeah, you can not join with the audio at all and just join with the camera. That'd be fine. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. All right, logging in. Um, Zoom may not be supported on this browser. Let's see. Launch meeting. Um, Okay, I'm trying to get it.
No worries. Take your
One
time.
second. Boop, boop, boop. Paste. Go. Launch meeting. Okay, here we go.
All
Join
right.
with audio, no audio. Okay, so no
Okay.
audio on that one.
So I'm going to add you in here. Lion. Okay, so you just probably need to enable your camera on your iPad.
Oh, yes, yes. There we go.
There you go. We've got two of you now.
Yeah.
So let me look at your other. Yeah, so look at this. So your resolution now is 360 on your iPad.
Yeah, that was clear on the screen.
Yeah, it looks much better. And on your main camera, it's 140. That's weird.
Hmm.
Hey Keith, thanks for joining us. As ever, we are testing Zoom, as you can tell. We're doing the beta version of Ecamm Zoom integration. Do you have Zoom? Keith, if you do, you're very welcome to join us. Let's try and get 4 people on here and just blow this system up and see how many we can get. You're very welcome. If you do, I can send you the link. But we'll see. We shall see. So, better image on the iPad. Yeah, it is, right? That's weird because Lion, your main camera is normally crystal clear, and you're coming in via a cam
Yeah,
link and so on. Yeah, that is bizarre.
that is weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that. I'm trying to work out. And now it says 720, which is what I would
On
expect. So now,
the
on the iPad. Yeah.
okay,
So if I show you the iPad, 720p it says here.
yeah,
That's cool.
crazy.
I don't get that. What's happening with the machine? How you got it configured right now then, your main camera? It's coming into your Mac on a cam link or something?
So no, mine is directly into my Cal Digit.
Okay.
Um, I don't need to use a cam link because of my camera. It is automatically configured as a webcam.
All right. So it's coming
Uh,
in as a USB webcam, yeah.
yeah,
So as a minimum, USB webcams typically for cameras, especially via USB, they won't go any higher than 720, or some will do 1080 with lower frame rates. But you should be getting at least 720 out of that.
and it's a great camera on its
Yeah.
own. It's Sony. Um, maybe Zoom is just reading it differently.
Yeah, maybe. But it's can you set the camera in Zoom to come in just natively without going via Ecamm? Because I'm just curious if that's anything to do with it. Just check what's going on here.
So let's see. So now in Zoom, I'm going to select just my Sony,
Okay.
no Ecamm.
All
That's
right.
straight out of the camera.
So let's look at this one then. So it's still, yeah, 144p. It's crazy because your iPad is,
And
yeah.
and then this one is my webcam that's coming up here. So that is the
So your webcam's a
webcam.
little bit better, 1080p.
Mm,
It's almost like it's
yeah.
almost like the Mac or something, but I don't know what, but it shouldn't make a difference. It's weird because I got you full screen here. And on the iPad is the Zoom full screen. I mean, it's taken over your entire iPad, right? Because they do say
Yes.
making it full screen helps, but
yeah, as far as I know, it's full screen. Yeah.
oh well, this is why we test stuff. Interesting. Yeah, that is a bit weird. So yeah, just post a comment there. See if that comes through. Just let me know in the comments if you want to test. But we're testing with two systems now. If I could go crazy here and come in via my phone, this would probably blow everything up. But doesn't really matter. It's
I can
mainly
select my phone as well if you
yeah.
want.
We have 3 lions.
It'd be three me on the phone, but I mean, if you want to
hope
push,
your internet can take it, man.
all right. Let's try. Let's try. Okay, so let me go here.
No worries. Let me just get another. Let's get the Zoom guest in here. Okay.
Zoom with the phone, no audio. Wait 1 second. Please don't go. Launch meeting, open. Okay.
All right. Here you are.
And then okay, and then camera. All right, so there we go.
Let me. I don't think your camera's switched on the phone yet, but.
Yeah, it's on. I see it.
Oh, okay. I'm not just. It's my fault. My bad. I haven't added you yet. So now I've added you over here. I need to add more of you. How many lions can we get in one sitting? This is great. This is cool. All right, let me just move you over here a sec. Dude. This is why we test. Okay. And then that's your iPad. Bring that over here.
Phone, iPad.
I'm going to bring your phone in a second now. Just do option drag. And then this is going to be the phone. So this is your phone. Okay. So cool. We got everything going on now.
Oh, this one.
There you go.
There we go.
Cool.
Put me in. Cool.
So let me look at the resolution of that. Okay, sir. Thank you. Right. So we've got iPhone, iPad, and you just standard. So if I go to, so your camera and your iPad are both at 720p. So there's your iPhone is 720, your iPad is 720, and your main camera is 180.
180. Wow.
Yeah, it's bizarre, man. I don't know what's going on with that. That's weird. Because normally when I watch you on your lives and your videos, your camera looks great. So I'm not sure what the deal is with this.
Yeah, right. And I think it's maybe Zoom reading something different on that camera.
Yeah. What did you select in Zoom? Sorry, what was the when you do the drop down in Zoom, what did you pick? Does it just come in as like USB or Sony A7 whatever, or what does it come in as?
Yeah, no USB. It comes in just as my Sony camera.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't come in as anything else except a Sony.
Yeah,
and I don't think it would affect it that it's plugged into. I think it's plugged into my cow digit, not my directly into the computer.
Yeah, because normally if it, I mean, sometimes I know USB or Thunderbolt hubs can be problematic for cameras because they don't have the bit rate, and it's always better to plug it directly into your Mac if you can. That's typically why I got stuff plugged in. But if it's never caused you a problem before on Ecamm and things, then I don't know why it's playing up now.
Yeah. No. Let me double check and see where.
Yeah, no worries. I'll just
double check and see where
take your
it's
time.
plugged in at.
I'll just go back to this main screen for a sec. So while we're waiting, Lion is just investigating his camera setup. And this is interesting because what we've got right now is we've got one iPad, one iPhone, one camera that's actually connected via USB, which is a good Sony camera coming in, but I don't know why that is different at the moment.
Yeah, it's plugged in. It should be, but if I unplug it and plug it directly into the computer, that wouldn't cut the feed on this, right? It just cut the camera.
You're just going to cut the camera. The audio is still going to be the same. You can try it if you want, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let me try it.
No worries. Hey, Keith, not a problem. Thanks for stopping by. We're just testing, really, just to work out what the resolution is and how things work within this system. But appreciate you coming in, and thanks a lot. See you soon, and have a good rest of your day.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, so I see what it is. My camera can't go into my computer directly because it's a Thunderbolt.
Ah, right.
The camera cord is USB.
Okay.
So I got it plugged into one of these Mac's USB to Thunderbolt.
Right, I'm with you. Ah, okay. I wonder if that is the issue then. Don't know.
Yeah, that's what it.
That's a bit weird.
So yeah. But
oh well. So we test, but I'd be interested to see when you get your guests on and when you get people into your Ecamm Zoom, what resolution they come in at, and what do you see? You know, because you can check your own camera as well. You know, I can check my camera now.
Yeah.
For example, camera A is my camera, and if I check that, then obviously it's gonna showing you it's at 4K 23.98 frames per second. But that's what I would expect because it's connected directly via an HDMI capture card, so it should give you the best resolution. But yeah,
right. And when I look on my Ecamm here, it is coming in at 1080 on my webcam. My Sony is 720 30 frames.
Okay.
So yeah, let me see something. Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, that is weird. So
let me see something. I'm gonna switch back to the Ecamm Virtual.
Okay.
And see if that does anything.
Let's have a look. No, it's still 180. I would have expected it to be at least 480, 720 because you're coming in at 720. So maybe Zoom's treated that camera a little bit differently. I don't know why, but it's a USB connected cam, so it shouldn't really be any different.
Yeah.
Oh well. This is why we test. And
yeah.
And when I don't know whether you've tried screen sharing, but I know that when you screen share, when a guest, so for example, if you were to screen share something during the Zoom meeting, two things will happen. One, your screen share will take over the Zoom meeting effectively. So anybody who's watching this on Zoom, you know, as Zoom works, the screen share will become full screen and you'll be sharing anything. So nobody will see this production unless they pin the production. to them within Zoom, and then your screen share will come in as a separate camera. So then effectively I will see your screen share as you do in interview mode come in as a separate camera on Ecamm as well. So that works okay. It's just that the people that are sitting in the Zoom meeting are going to see something slightly different. So that's one thing we've got to be aware of. If we're presenting things to people in Zoom using Ecamm, then we should either have to spotlight our Ecamm production for everybody. So, and I don't know what happens if you spotlight the Ecamm production, then you screen share. Maybe it just wipes that spotlight away and then does the entire screen share. So yeah, a few things to test out, because you're using two mechanisms now, right? We're using the Ecamm production and we're using Zoom. So yeah, got to figure these things out.
So, or could you then, so when I have a guest just into Ecamm, I don't know if this would work similarly, and they want to screen share, I will create a blank screen, then put a camera overlay on that new scene and use that as their screen share.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, so I could test it right now. So for example, are you able to screen share anything? Just anything on your machine?
Yeah, sure.
I'll just create a new scene and I'll just add you as a camera to start with.
Okay.
So I'll just add your iPad.
Yeah,
Okay.
do the iPad.
So there's your iPad as a scene.
Okay.
And then as soon as you screen share something.
So let's see what's trying to figure out how to do. It's so funny because I don't ever use Zoom like this. And now
Yeah,
so
Zoom has a little green button at the bottom called share, and then you can share anything within that.
So I see that. Let me see. Okay, so share. Let's see, what can I share? Let's go with a website URL, I guess. I don't know. And see if that works. Okay.
So now in my Zoom, can you see here? Let me just go to live demo mode. So in live demo mode, you have come in as another camera now, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to add you as a camera. So I'm going to add your screen as a camera overlay. So just like you do in Ecamm's interview mode, right? So when the guest shares so now it says here at the bottom, lie on sharing. And now I can just make that as wide as I want. So now we've got you and your iPad on the left, and then your screen share in Zoom on the right. But in my Zoom window, all I see is the screen share. I see nothing else because Zoom takes over everything, right?
Okay.
If that makes sense. So all I'm seeing is the website in Zoom, unless I have if I do a second monitor or something, then I've got the gallery view at the top. So I see all the participants, and then your screen share is like full screen on my monitor, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and on my end, all the participants, right, and then the entire screen is the screen share.
Right, so you get the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I could do is, so let me just go over to my other monitor, because the test is if I pin or spotlight the Ecamm production for everybody in the Zoom meeting, then technically you should see the Ecamm production. That is you and your screen share. One sec. What do you see now?
I see just me and the screen share.
Okay, cool. So if I go to this, you would see just me, right?
Correct.
Okay, so now what I've done is I've spotlit in Zoom the Ecamm production. So that I went to the gallery view, and there's three little dots in Zoom in each of the video feeds. And then I do spotlight for everyone, which now means that I'm just switching here between the normal Ecamm production. So going back to your screen share, if I if I do the scene in Ecamm, so everything that you're seeing right now is everything in Ecamm. So if I do guest and screen share, back to your screen share and guest. If I do live demo mode, you'll see obviously the live demo mode and everything that I've got. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So we're figuring it out.
Yeah, learning process, right?
I know. Well, that's the
And
only way. That's the only way to learn, right? Just by doing this and messing around and seeing if it works. But this is cool. Just don't understand your other camera, but I guess I have to do some further testing to see. But yeah, your camera's fine in when you do your Ecamm stuff, though. It's perfectly fine, right?
yeah, yeah. I think this is just something that Zoom is reading, because in any other issue, I've never, even when I've tested the Zoom and Ecamm on my end, I just used my iPad and my phone, and on my Zoom, the camera came through fine.
Without any
I
problems
didn't
at
test the
all.
rate, but it looked good. So, but I'll
Okay.
test the rate next time.
Yeah, that's good to know. That's good to know. All right, well, this has been good. How much testing have you done at the moment then? You just said you're sort of you coming into your own Zoom production and so on, yeah?
Yeah, that's pretty much a couple of static images as well that I kind of like saw. Uh, I can't remember his name. I saw his one. He did it on from Scotland. He's from Scotland. I
Oh,
can't.
Martin.
He's,
Yeah.
he's no, not Martin. The head. It's. But anyways, I saw one of his videos and he used static images, so I just kind of did the same thing. So, but I'm gonna test. I'm gonna
Okay.
try to test with some live people.
Sure. If you ever need anybody to test with, just give me a shout. I'm happy to join the Zoom with you, see if it works on your side. No problem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
So,
yeah, we're really
I'll
looking
wear
forward to
some-
seeing you on Monday on the Creative Amplifiers show. That'd be fun. We get everything ready. So
Yeah.
cool. That'd be great. Got some questions for you and find out all about Lion. That's the main thing. So it should be good. Should be good.
Ready for it. Ready for it.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for joining. I think I'll probably just end the Zoom meeting and just continue talking for a few minutes. And then, but yeah, I really appreciate you joining today. That's great. It's been a good test. And it's just more confusing now. More than anything.
I gotta go to each camera.
I know. All right. No worries. Thank you, my friend. I'll speak to you soon. Take it easy.
All
And
right,
thanks.
sir.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
now.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So that was an interesting test using Zoom and having a few multiple Lions in there. Don't know how Lion's internet kept going, but much better than mine. But it's interesting to understand how or why Zoom is treating these cameras coming in as separate things. So that's interesting. But if I go back to live demo mode real quick, that isn't live demo mode. That still keeps going on the other view. I don't know why. Right, live demo mode. Just real quick. So a couple of things to note. So Zoom guests are going to come in here with the single audio control. So every guest that comes in will be controlled by this master fader, if you like. The guests, when they come in, you can actually mute guests individually, but there is no real way of controlling their audio feeds separately. What I mean by that is you won't be able to, live demo, you won't be able to control the individual volume like you can in interview mode. So there are some sort of slight nuances between having a guest come in via standard interview mode on Ecamm and Zoom. So their volume control, the Zoom participants' volume control, will be controlled by themselves effectively, which is something interesting to note. And also, as you notice, the little pop-up message that came up when we joined the Zoom. If I go to the Zoom preferences real quick, you'll see that the Zoom capture mode, we're in live streaming at the moment, which, as Ken and Glenn explained, is basically what Zoom is telling the participants whether they're going to be live streamed or recorded. And then if you set this to capture mode, which you can do actually even during a live stream, and change this capture mode to recording, then they'll get the recording in progress message and so on. So there's a couple of differences there. I've left my audio processing, by the way, as disabled. So I'm letting Ecamm, route everything via itself. So all the guests can hear each other via this method. I can hear them, they can hear the music. So everything that I'm sending in my Ecamm production via the broadcaster in this particular case, but the microphone, the sound effects and things like that, they will be able to hear everything in that. So it's just a better way of integrating all the audio workflows in Ecamm than having to mess around and faff around with the likes of loopback and so on. There probably is going to still be some use cases for using loopback, and I think as the audio routing gets more complicated, depending on your individual setup, then you may have to do that. But I think if you can bring everything into Ecamm with the sound effects, with the music playing in the background, plus having interview guests, and we did some testing with the Ecamm team only a couple of days ago where we had an interview guest come in, mixed and augmented with Zoom guests. Everybody could hear each other and it's fine. So I think that works really well. And I know there's an update. In fact, there's just an update come up, I think, a latest update for the beta version. So I'll be downloading that and testing again. But this has been great. A big thank you to Lion for joining me today on testing this Zoom integration. I do want to see what it's like bringing maybe 8 people in. Maybe I will set something up in the Facebook group, on the Ecamm Facebook group at some point in the near future to see if I can grab people and get them pulled in. I might try that sometime next week. But anyway, this has been fun testing Zoom and trying to think if there's anything else to talk to you about on the Zoom side. Chat messages and so on will all come in. So anybody who's on Zoom, didn't test that, but anybody who's actually on the Zoom call is going to come in down here into the chat. So it's really easy to, again, mix and match those chat messages. I can't remember whether the chat messages are then shown everywhere else. I think they are. So as they come into Zoom, as Zoom sends a chat message, then will that chat message be seen everywhere? I didn't test that. That's something to think about. So yeah, I might do a little bit more testing on that as well. But for a beta version and the Zoom integration, it's working pretty well. I have to say, I haven't had any major problems. I love the way that the cameras just come in seamlessly and you can apply all the camera effects, all the various workflows that you would do with a normal camera when you're bringing it into Ecamm. You can do that with a Zoom camera. And as I tested that, just spotlighting for everyone when that user comes into Zoom and then they present the screen. Obviously in Zoom it'll take over, but if you spotlight for everyone your Ecamm production, your camera, then whatever they're sharing now they'll see by here. So then you can obviously do your switching and so on, which is great. So even, you know, when you're bringing in chat messages and things like that, like if we're just bringing my chat message and stuff, then yeah, you know, they will be able to see that in the actual chat. So that's another great way of doing it. All right, so thank you for joining. And the usual thing is, if that didn't work, my YouTube card didn't work. What's happening? I don't know what's happening there with I'm pointing in these directions and nothing's happening. Typical. What is wrong with my Stream Deck? Let's fix Stream Deck, shall we? Let's do a bit of Stream Deck fixing live. Let's go and configure. Oh, there's a question coming. All right. Oh, hi there. So when you pull in guests, how do you plan on dealing with the wide level of differences with quality camera, mic, internet connection a guest may have? Well, that's always a problem for any production system when you've got guests coming in. So obviously there is a checklist and things that we do play with and give guests before they join. One, they should have a stable internet connection, make sure everything is disabled that may be consuming internet bandwidth and things like that. It is preferable for them to have headphones so there's no slapback or echo or hearing themselves. If they can get a reasonable microphone, that's great, and so on. But, I work with people who do video podcasts, and they just have to deal with whatever the people come up with. I think we've been spoiled a little bit with Zoom, because Zoom does a lot of processing in the video and audio to make you look and sound as good as possible. Now, with the advantage of having Ecamm Live integration with Zoom, then some of the processing that Zoom does on the voice and so on may make a difference. But unfortunately, you sometimes are at the mercy of what your guest is providing you with. So you can only mitigate so much. And my advice would be that have the guests prepped as good as possible and do a run through, do a test before you go live or even before you record. I help a couple of people out with remote production, and they're doing either live streaming or they're doing other types of workflows. So that's one way of testing. So to conclude, Zoom works. There is a minimum quality flaw. Well, yeah, there's a couple of things with Zoom. So the Zoom, if you have a free Zoom account, then your video resolution is maxed out at around 360p. But that's for the person who is basically sending the video. As I mentioned earlier in this, I'm not sure if you were here at the beginning, but effectively, if the host of the Zoom meeting is on a pro or business account, now the pro account will give video resolution up to 720p, which is HD, it's reasonable. And a business account will give you up to 1080p. Those people that are joining you, say I'm hosting this meeting right now and I'm on a pro account, which I am. So my video resolution will max out at 720p, and people coming in to my production should also get that 720p resolution. And that's what we were testing before with Lion. He was on 3 different computers, 3 different systems. And I was expecting his main camera to come in at a higher resolution than it actually did. But his other cameras came in at 720p, which is what my pro account is set to. So in answer to your question, there is a sort of a minimum sort of quality flaw when it comes to Zoom and production with remote guests. And it's really getting your guests to have the best quality experience that they can have. And if they've got decent equipment, then all the better. But you just never know. So it's always good to prep your guests first as they come in, which is interesting. And as you've seen on today's testing, then even somebody with which we think is a decent camera may not have come in correctly with Zoom in this particular case. I'm not sure why that was, compared to the fact that his iPad and iPhone gave a better video resolution. But that's the same with any Zoom calls or workshop calls as well. And one other thing to note with Zoom is that even if you're coming in at the top quality resolution that you can get with your guests, that if somebody then joins with a phone, which maxes out at 720p, then that may bring the overall resolution down for everybody else. So it's a cumulative thing, and Zoom tries to do its best at giving the best experience in terms of video and audio quality to everybody on that meeting. Yeah, so a few things to consider. So yeah, it's been interesting. Today I am going to fix my Stream Deck though before I go. So let me just go into live demo mode. I'm going to go into Stream Deck. I'm going to find out why this button doesn't work. It does keep changing. Let's go to Stream Deck Mini. And this is the one here that should have changed. Run scene. Oh yeah, and the scene isn't there. So that should have been... Where's it gone? It's not even in here. Is my scene missing? Oh yeah, because it's not in this. It's not in this profile. I'm trying to press something that isn't in the profile. What is wrong with me? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let's go to the chat. Switch off live demo. Yes, 100%. So it all just depends, right, on the quality of the person and who's joining the Zoom meeting and all this kind of stuff. But still early days, but from the testing I've seen so far, it's been pretty good. I'm only on the pro account, not on the business account, so I can't really test 1080p. Hoping to get that at some point one day to be able to test and see what the quality is like. But so far so good, I think, with Zoom. And with Ecamm now, you've got the ability to mix and match. You've got the standard interview mode if you're in the pro version of Ecamm, and then obviously even people with free Zoom accounts can obviously join your production now, as well. As we've seen with Lion, he had a free account and it wasn't too bad him coming in. So let's see. Anyway, if I'll just check if there's any more questions. If anybody has any questions, please let me know in the chat, or even if you just want to join the Zoom call for 5 minutes and test it out for yourself and join me here, you're very welcome to do that as well. But if not, I'll just give it a few minutes, because obviously there's always a 15 to 20 second delay when you're streaming. So when I'm asking a question, I have to wait at least 20 seconds for any responses to come back, if there are any as well. Oh, we've been streaming for nearly an hour. How much fun. All right. Well, I don't think there's any more questions. So you can always hit me up in the YouTube comments as well if you do have any questions about Zoom. As I said, I did post on the YouTube channel a walkthrough of Ecamm integration with Zoom. And if you're so inclined, you can also buy me a coffee if you find these things helpful. The QR code will take you to a place to buy me a little coffee if you need to, and things like that. But anyway, always appreciate people joining the live streams, all your wonderful comments on the YouTube channel, and all the support that you've given me over the years as well. It is appreciated. So without further ado, I will say goodbye for now. Hopefully this end card may work. I'll find out now whether this works or not. So thanks for joining. Do I have an end scene on here? Would be nice if it did. Let's try it. All right, take it easy. I'll see you on the next live stream next Thursday, and watch out for more videos and tutorials on the YouTube channel. Take it easy.